everybody. I'm Bill Sanders, and this is WatchArtSci, the art and science of watch collection. Today, we're going to take a look at Louise's collection, and I think you're really going to like it. I do. I like it a lot. The first four we're going to take a look at are a couple that I liked right off the bat when I first saw them. Girard-Perregaux Vintage 1945. This watch is a good looking watch with a good movement in it, and it's one of all of the Girard-Perregaux that I've looked at that getting one, this would probably be the one I'd get. The Glashütte original signature chronograph is a chronograph. The movement in this particular one is called a 3931. It was later replaced by an updated one, both in-house, called a 100, and just a good-looking, solid watch. And the Senator has been one of my favorites. I'd probably want to get a white face or white dial on it, but otherwise, I really like it a lot. Looks good in the black too. The Jaeger-LeCoultre master calendar is another one I really like a lot. The date on it, or not the date, but the date is around the around the edges of the dial from starting at 2 and goes to 31, and then 1 would be right at the top, and then it has the little half moon on the date hand, and then it has the date right in the center. So this is a neat watch, a really nice one, very good choice. The Jaeger-LeCoultre memo box. Now this is an older one, but the interesting thing about the memo box, you can see about at around 4:30, you can see the little diamond, or not diamond, but triangle indicator, a little arrow down there. Now that's for setting an alarm. This is an alarm clock, or alarm watch, I should say. This is another neat one from Jaeger-LeCoultre. So every one of these is a neat watch. Now the next group of watches, these are all, I call it the Omega Masters. There's the Speed Master, the Sea Master, and the Rail Master. Like them all. The Speed Master, of course, is the famous moon watch, and there's not much more I can say about it that hasn't been said already. It's a good-looking watch, a neat one, nice solid one. The Seamaster, now this is an older Seamaster. I'm a big fan of the Planet Ocean Seamaster, but this is a nice, good-looking one as the older one. In fact, it looks more like a dress watch than a sports watch, and I've always considered the Seamaster to be sort of a sea version of the Speedmaster. Now, the last of these, the three masters, is the Rail Master. And the Rail Master has the coaxial movement in it. And this was the one we talked about on Friday and looking at as an innovative movement that Omega has. Really like that a lot. I like the black face with the green lumens on the numbers and the hour markers and the numbers. That's a neat watch. I really like that a lot. This is to have all of the masters in your collection, I think, is a neat thing to have. I think Louise likes likes Omegas a bit. There is 3 more. The Constellation is a chronographer, and it's just the nice. It's got this solid blue to it that's sort of got a steeliness to it. Just another good solid watch. To me, that looks like what I would, I kind of watch it wear to work, you wear anywhere. It's sort of like this is my Harboring 2, which is my wear everywhere and anywhere kind of watch. I think the Constellation's the same. Field watch is a very, it has a very clear watch, nice big clear watch with the small seconds are pretty big small seconds. So that's another thing if you need the any kind of second timing on that. The Geneve with the green dial on it is it's got that sort of a 70-ish kind of style to it, and that can be very cool. That's to me would be a good party watch. And it's a fun collection too. So this is so there's 6 Omegas there, and I like every one of them. Now, this next group I refer to as strong horology, and the same thing could have been said for that first group that I looked at too. And here you have the Rolex Explorer 2 GMT. And this was one of the watches that when I was looking at GMT, went for blew all my money on another watch. And I ended up with a little Zenith GMT, but this is the one that I really, really like a lot. The Explorer 2. Now, I like what's called the Polar version, which has the white dial on it. But this one I like a lot too. It's a neat watch, and it's it's a Rolex, and it's got that nice big GMT arrow on it. Wonderful addition to anybody's collection. The Zenith is this is another chronograph. What a beautiful watch. I'd never seen that one before, but you talk about a well-chosen watch. And another thing I like, and I know that not everybody does, and that is the date at 4:30. I don't know why. I think when you look at it, somehow it's easier to see it at 4:30 than at 3, where most of them are. Um, but at the same time, I like that magnifying glass over the on the Rolex. You can really see the date with that. Beautiful Zenith El Primero, gorgeous, gorgeous watch. This is a Port Royal 4. Love that watch. Then the Seiko. This Seiko has got this one's got a day date on it, and it's sort of like one of those this sort of nice solid little watch to have, and it's got good solid movement in it too. All right, this next group turned out well, at least 2 of the watches turned out to be my favorite. Um, First of all is the Chrono Swiss. The large, they have the great big hand is the minute hand, and the hour hand is on a subdial with the numbers in Roman numerals, and then below that they have another subdial for the seconds, the small seconds. I just it's called a regulator, and that's a beautiful, beautiful watch. I really like it. Now, the other thing that's interesting about this Chrono Swiss is during the early '80s. A guy named Gerd Rudiger Lang, who had been at Heuer, decided, well, he's going to start his own watch company. So what he did, he bought up this. At the time, there were a lot of failing movement companies, and one of them was called Inacar, and they had a lot of movements still from that they had made. They couldn't sell, and so he bought them, and he used their stock in his watches. And one of their calibers was the 165, and it was automatic. And this became the Chrono Swiss 122. But the movement in that is in a car that was purchased by Chrono Swiss for it. And to me, that's just sort of a very very cool thing on it. Now, IWC is, I gotta tell you, that's been a brand I just haven't trusted because you can pay a lot of money, end up with a ETA in it, and so when I started looking at this, I was more than a little suspicious. Oh my God, this is such an interesting watch. This IWC was after World War II. It was 46 or 49, one of the 2 years. IWC apparently had been bombed. I don't know how. They were in Switzerland. At least I think they were. They are now. There were some places in Switzerland that were near the border that got bombed, and that may have been the case. But anyway, I think it was for the British Army of all people that they had developed this watch with the caliber 89. Now this particular one that they have, this particular one in gold, I think it's yellow gold. It may be pink gold, but what a neat watch. IWC is one of those ones, like I said, there's a difference between not exactly trusting a company and not liking them because I don't like the looks of their watches or something about them. That's not true with IWC. I just don't like some of them because, excuse me, because they're often not very forthcoming with what's in them. And this one, though, whoa, this is really a very, very, very good watch. You can't beat it for a dress watch. It's got that Calatrava patrimony look that Patek Philippe and Vacheron Constantin have, respectively. Great watch, very cool, interesting history. Everything about that I like. Okay, now the two Illinois watches to me they're like adding sort of sprinkles to a sundae. They're neat. They're interesting. Now the dial on that, it's sort of tornado shaped. I don't know what it is. It's almost a rectangular shaped watch, Illinois. It's pretty messed up, unfortunately, because the number systems and the hands are so interesting on that watch. But like I said, I think that thing's been through the mill. Is banged up and interesting. The pocket watch is wonderful. The kind it looks like a train kind of one a train master would have. So anyway, this looking at these two, this was to me was my most educational one, and really enjoyed finding out about it. Okay, the last watches that taking a look at here are the Orient, the Oris. Um, the Orient is a GMT, and sometimes I don't think anybody's expecting a great deal horologically from Orient or Oris for that matter. But with a GMT, especially in traveling in certain places, you need something that if it gets banged up or even stolen, you're okay with it. And that's certainly one that I would consider for that. I like the face on it too. It's got the power reserve indicator on it at the top. It's got the GMT dial. It's just a cool watch. I like it. The Oris too has got that. It's got a very simple beauty to it and excellent luminous on the hands and the hour markers. So even though horologically they're probably not anything to write home about, there's a couple nice choices in the watches. Okay, I think that what we can learn from Luis's collection a lot. I can't. Oh, I can. I probably would recommend exploring some of the higher reaches of horology. This might be something you'd want to do. I think that you've with the what do they call it, the coaxial, you got a very interesting movement in that. And by and large, Jaeger-LeCoultre and of course Rolex and the other ones, they're really good. I mean, they're good, solid movements in those watches. But I think you might want to explore just sort of a little higher level. Maybe one of the watches from the Holy Trinity, or a Lang. I love a Lang and Son. Those things, I know they're more expensive, and this collection is so well balanced. I mean, there's on just about every way you can. And so there's really not a lot I think I could recommend. You seem to be a very sophisticated, very well chosen collection you got there, Louise. Man, so I really I think other collectors too can really learn a lot from this just by looking at this. It's very cool. Anyway, I'd really like to hear your comments on this. What you have to say? What do you think? And maybe yeah, something I missed that you might say, hey, this is something you might want to take a look at. Okay, this has been Bill Sanders for WatchArtSci. This is an invitation to subscribe. Love to have you. And I want to thank Louise for sending me such a rich and interesting collection. And we'll see you on Friday, I hope, for our next regular video on WatchArtSci, the art and science of watch collection.